It's constant bullshit. So did y'all see this? That this black girl decided to create a Majorette team at a PWI, a predominantly white institution, USC, and everybody don't know how to feel about it. Wanting an HBC culture at white schools instead of going to a HBCU is weird. That's the way they feel. I don't feel this way. Thank you, Talia, for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't feel like yeah, no, I don't feel like that. Oh, probably bipolar. Okay, got you. Iyanla retired too soon. I heard she got a podcast. I need to check it out. But I feel like at the end of the day, PWIs are not going to be HBCUs, but they have a lot of things they all do. They all have bands. They all have cheerleading teams or dance teams. It's just the black schools are always going to do shit with way, you know, it's going to be better. I'm sorry. The entertainment value is going to be way better. We was at, you know, some white schools last weekend watching football games, and it was just kind of like child and white bands. No, they be trying, but they don't know what to do, girl. They don't know what to do. And then they'll have the few little black girls on the cheerleading and the dance teams, and it's just not giving what it gives at HBCUs or black schools, period. But the thing about it is everybody can't afford HBCUs. I got $20,000 worth of debt left over from going to Clark Atlanta University, where I didn't even graduate from. So I feel like if the black girl wanted to create a majorette team at USC, I don't see a problem with it. At the end of the day, it's not cultural appropriation. It's a black girl that decided to do it. We see black girls. To me, at the end of the day, black schools really are about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the dance and majorette, the band. If the band ain't on point, the dancers can only do so much as far as I'm concerned. So it can be a version of something, just like any other time you hear white bands playing the music that black bands play. Like white bands wasn't playing all of the R&B and blues songs and shit that was popping. They wasn't doing that. They was playing, you know, fucking Greenleaf or whatever the hell other, you know, band music white people played before it became, you know, entertaining to take the HBCU route at, you know, football games and band and majorette teams and all of that type of stuff. At the end of the day, you're not going to get the same experience, period, at a PWI that you are at an HBCU. So I don't see the problem with having a majorette team. People want the HBCU experience, but PWI validation. I don't necessarily think so. I think that some people go to the schools they can afford. I think people go to the schools they can afford. Like everybody can't afford to go to a HBCU. Everybody forgets that PWI sometimes, you know, you get in easier or less money is involved or some shit like that. It's USC, so that's like a big school. But ultimately, that girl might have got a scholarship or something. The fuck? So you mean to tell me because I want to go to USC and I don't want to go to a HBCU, I can't be a part of a dance team in college? Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. It's still not going to be the same, but I feel like they could have a dance team. They could have a majorette team if they decide they want to do that. It ain't like it's a whole bunch of white girls shaking their ass off rhythm. It's not going to be the same experience no matter what. And I also feel like, what validation, like, do you mean? You know what I'm saying? What validation? Because dancing in a majorette team is not the whole of your college experience in order to say it validates you in a way that an HBCU would. USC is expensive, but they hand out scholarships. I received one from them, just didn't go. Okay, then. She created a space to feel comfortable and have fun. What's the issue? That's my thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. Black people should be able to do the shit they like to do at these white schools too. The fuck? I can't agree with that. It doesn't matter. Like, ultimately, you can agree with it or not agree with it, but you're not going to convince me that it doesn't sound crazy to say that this girl can't create a dance team at the school she goes to because it's not HBCU. Like, what? Like, what? Y'all do realize that they have dance and majorette teams at high schools, right? And those are not all historically black colleges, but the same shit happens at the high schools. So I don't understand it. Again, if I was seeing a whole bunch of white girls up there doing weird shit, maybe I would feel differently. But it was the majorette team. I also feel like as long as somebody who knows what they're doing is in charge, I don't see why a white girl couldn't join the, you know, the it's a dance team. Y'all can say it's majorette. That makes y'all feel like it's more black. It's a fucking dance team. Like, I don't know why people are this upset about it. Y'all realize we're called minorities for a reason. Not everywhere has a bunch of black people in black schools. Some of us have to go wherever we can. So when the white girls want to join their team, they can't say nothing. Wouldn't that defeat the purpose? No, because what if the white girls can dance? The fuck? So now the white girls can't dance? If the white girls can dance, then I don't see why the white girls can't dance. It's still not going to be a HBCU. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's still not going to be a black school. It's just a dance team. Like, it's just a dance. Majorette are different from dancers. I am aware that majorette is different from other types of dancing. However, it is still a dance team. And I say that because in New Orleans, the dance teams at all of the high schools dance, especially the black high schools, and they're not called black high schools. These are just the schools where more black people are. So that's just how it is. They perform in the same manner. They aren't called majorettes. They're called dance teams. When I went to Easton, it was a dance team. When I went to prep, it was a dance team. It wasn't until all this other, like, semantics. Exactly. It's semantics. And ultimately, y'all are worried about the wrong shit. HBCUs can do whatever they want to do. But if a black girl at a PWI wants to start a dance team, let her do it. And if the white girls can keep up with the moves and everybody look good, let them dance too. It's a PWI, y'all. It's a school with a mixed crowd. So then shouldn't the activities be reflective of the mixed crowd that they have? To me, I would feel differently if white people were encroaching on black spaces. This is not the same thing. White people go to HBCUs and join predominantly black sororities. Are you protesting that as well? No. They're not going to protest that. LaShonda Cleveland, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it so much. Y'all realize they can steal things without it being at their school. They can just watch another school. Child, bring it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay? Listen, I was a soul step in high school. I just kind of feel like, yes, everybody wants to gatekeep some shit. When ultimately, motherfucker, help us pay these HBCU bills and shit that we got from going to these damn colleges. Worry about all of the HBCUs keeping their accreditation. Y'all worry about the wrong shit as far as I'm concerned. Worry about the HBCUs staying open and keeping accreditation. Don't worry about successful PWIs doing shit because they got black students that want to do it. Like, what? Okay. I support the black girl creating a team because, like, let's take a look. Let's just take a look. You better get it. You better get it. Yeah, I miss being in a band. Oh, Lord, I used to have so much fun in a band. Right, because I had $22,000 in debt for my HBCU. Girl, you sound just like me. Okay, you sound just like me. You can't gatekeep black things from other black people. It don't make sense. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the girl is black. What are we talking about? They look good, and they look like they're having a good time, and that's what the games are supposed to be about. She her natural shaking. She was like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how y'all could be mad about it. Like, I just feel like, let people do it. Like, it's not a big deal, y'all. It's just not to me. I get it, But like, I'm more so, let's protect the institutions and allow them to still take up space. Let the HBCUs still be successful. Like, that's what I'm more focused on, not whether, you know, PWIs have majorette teams. But anyway, y'all, that's just me. But this is the last thing, child. And it's not even a celebrity thing, but I just wanted to talk about it because I was like, is this what y'all be going through? Is this what y'all be going through? Let's do it.
So my fiance dumped me and called off our wedding. Honestly, I'm on the other side of that now. It needed to happen. Keep it a buck with you. But I have been crying a lot. So to stop myself from doing that and make myself feel a little bit better, I decided to make an ick list. And I wanted to share it with you guys because this is the beginning of my unhinged era. I think when your engagement gets called off, it's the only time that you get to act crazy and like nobody can really like bother you about it. But I want to share that list. Y'all will not believe this. This, like, if anything, you should say like, Andy, ick to you for dealing with this shit.
That's how I felt. Andy, ick to you. Virgin until 22.
Ask anyone. I swear to God.
Virgin until 22.
No money.
No money.
Bank account negative every 2 weeks. His mom is like constantly like, hey, do you need anything? Do you need anything? You want to get a job maybe? Not important. I'm always crying every single day. 5 days a week. Which is like a like not every single day, but like that's a lot. Sex dreams about his sister. Right? What the Andy, what? Okay. Continue.
Yeah, girl. What?
Anything without his parents. And I mean anything. Like, I gotta print out this piece of paper. Better call up mom. Can't figure out how to press submit without somebody doing it for me. I mean, like, literally. Okay, anyway. Had no job or place to live when we started dating.
Oh, it's echoing? Okay.
Like, the Bible even says a man needs a job and a place to stay before he's supposed to have a woman. That ain't necessarily true, but like that's what they say, you know. Adam had that. Continue. Kept leaving jobs, y'all. In the 10 months we were engaged, this man worked 5 places. I'm not kidding. Left me to struggle while he played Fortnite. He would be home playing Fortnite with his cousins, and I would come home like crying about the fact that like I just felt like I didn't have the life that I had thought for myself and whatnot. And he would just be like, do you mind if I put my headphones back on? I'd be like sobbing. He'd be like, I'm actually playing Fortnite with my cousin. Is it okay if I put my headphones back on? So yeah, enjoy that. And can't read. That's dramatic, but can't read well.
Kanye West got his ignorant ass in that interview looking like the fucking Unabomber and told everybody he doesn't read. It's like eating Brussels sprouts. What are you, fucking 5? What are you, 5 years old? Whenever I say this about how I have always found it so disrespectful to the ancestors when Black people, but specifically Black men, because I hear it more from Black men, they don't like to read. I don't like to read. I don't read. I don't like to read. I find it disrespectful to the ancestors. And a lot of times you niggas aren't good at reading because nobody made y'all read. It wasn't important for young Black men to know how to read a book or speak eloquently, right? What was more important, that y'all were playing sports? Y'all could dribble a ball. You could make some hot beats. Everybody can't become Kanye and a billionaire off of being a fucking psycho. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's just very like bothersome to me whenever I hear Black men not wanting to read, not liking to read, period. Just makes me sad. Then somebody in one of the comments on that video was like, what he said to me, I hear this more from women than I do from men. I said, really, nigga? Really, nigga? You hear more women don't read than men. I said, really, more Black women don't read. I said, who the fuck buying all of the romance novels? Cause it ain't you niggas. I'm just saying, Black women will be reading them hood romance novels down. They still writing them. They still making them. They still selling. So how the fuck you gonna say women don't read? You have heard that more from women. You're lying. You're lying. Y'all just don't like when somebody says something about black men that's negative. Y'all can't stand that. So y'all gotta try to, you know, flip it and make it seem like black women have that issue too. And I'm like, no, most black women that I know, either they like to read, have read, or will pick up a book from, you know, every now and again, a good book. Girl like to keep a good book. Okay? It's very annoying to me when everybody act like, no, nigga, it's y'all. I've had so many conversations with black men about how they don't like to read. Like, it is just so annoying to me. It's like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all don't realize that's why y'all have a hard time communicating. Why you can't think of a way to express yourself is because you have a lack of vocabulary. Like, I think it's so crazy after people died for you to have the ability to read a fucking book, for y'all to like just boastfully say all over the hood that y'all don't like to read. Thanks so much for the black people that got killed and got limbs cut off so that you motherfuckers could learn how to read. All for you to get to 2022. Now you ain't even got to look at the book. All you got to do is listen to it. And y'all love telling everybody how y'all don't like to read. It's so disappointing, and y'all don't even realize how stupid, how dumb that sounds to tell people that you don't read books. Like, motherfucker, what? I'm sorry, y'all. I can go off on a tangent on how I feel like black boys are allowed to be stupid. And I say that is because I feel like y'all don't push on them that education is important. You would much rather them figure out a way how to do something physical. You want them to play football. You want them to play basketball. You want them to be in music. You want them to play an instrument. But God forbid they read books. God forbid. And then, I just don't think there are any, you know, books that would be fun to read. Really? 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 There's a plethora, y'all. There's a plethora of types of books. And then I had somebody tell me it's not just black people. People, period, don't like to read. I said, oh, really? Is that why there are a million Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and every other, you know, fucking Game of Thrones? All of those shows that white people watch and make billions of dollars off started out as books being read by them before they were turned into billion-dollar movies and shit. All your Marvel movies, do you know they came from comic books, which are in fact books? Like, random. Pimp C love reading, which is why he was so good at rapping. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. But I just don't like y'all. I don't like the acting like it's cool to be ignorant shit. Okay? Do you ever I know my stats, and I have a very small percentage of black males, and I don't care.
And took a super long time to learn. Concerningly long. Like, I was hoping that because I was gifted, it would balance the kids out. Dead ass. What? Okay, also, did not pay rent January through April. Ladies and gentlemen, what was I doing? I don't know. Doesn't matter now.
So basically, y'all, I think that people should do an ick list.
So, my fiance dumped me.
An ick board.
Honestly, I'm on the other side of that now. It needs to happen.
I don't know why, but I was like, was he white? I don't know why. I was like, is he white? But I don't even think that she, like, based on what she was saying, it did sound like a bummy black dude, but it could have been a bummy white dude. It could have been, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the Fortnite. But either way, I was just, you know, it just prompted me, you know. Yeah, Kanye was trying to be a fucking president and read a book and sitting up there talking about it's like eating Brussels sprouts. I hate when he puts his white man voice on for people. It's just very weird. It's just very, very weird. Yeah, you know, listen, I feel like if you want to be somebody that doesn't read, that somebody, you know, doesn't try to progress your mind in any way, if you one of those people, that's great. But do me a favor, don't promote it like it's a good thing. Like, that's my thing. Don't promote it like it's a good thing, because it in fact is not. Okay, girl, did he dump her? Make it look like, why were you with him? Yeah, she said he cut off the engagement. Not her, him. He dumped her. Child, I'm about to say, child, love me some Brussels sprouts. And we always going somewhere with a Brussels sprouts be like, some type of like honey glaze type of situation. Like a bitch love a old honey glaze Brussels sprout. Yeah, and use ick. I'm like probably a white guy. I was thinking it was a white guy. But the not reading thing prompted me to talk about the Kanye thing because that annoyed me this week because I heard that from somebody like in real life, no, I don't like to read. And I'm just kind of like, y'all are missing out. I'm reading a book right now. I just finished reading Jeanette. I'm about to leave y'all. So if y'all don't care, bye. But I just finished reading Jeanette McCurdy's book. What is it? I'm Glad My Mom Is Dead. I think that's the name of it. Hold up. Let me make sure. Let me go to my library, girl. Yeah, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly. Really good book. Really, really good book. And the one I'm reading right now is called This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron because I love an old black girl fantasy book. Okay. But I've always liked to read. And I like to read because when I was younger and you read, it was like creating the movie in my mind. Reading made me create the movie in my mind. I can remember reading Harry Potter for the first time. I stayed in my room all day one day and had the audio book on tape, on cassette tape, y'all. It's back in the day. And I literally laid in my bed and on the floor like all day, listening and reading along with the Harry Potter book, the first one, The Sorcerer's Stone. After that, child, I was fucking hooked. I had so many different books growing up. Katrina took them whole. But yes, the shit that I would come up with in my mind, and then when books were good enough to become movies, you would match what you thought about in your head with the book. And that's how you know, with the movie, that's how you know if the movie was really good, because it basically did the same thing on film that it did in your mind. Like that was always like the best thing for me. Oh yes, girl, I was an R.L. Stine book lover. Fear Street, girl, I read I still have Fear Street books. I love Fear Street books. Because they were just always the best thrillers. Always the best thrillers. List of favorite books. That's so hard. But I'll tell y'all, there's one book right now that I keep thinking about, and it was a movie, but I want the unabridged version. I haven't been able to find the unabridged version since the damn book came out. But White Oleander. I don't know about if anybody has ever heard about White Oleander, but that was one of my favorite books growing up. Reminds me of Marlowe's ass. But anyway, White Oleander was one of my favorite books ever. I just posted about Echo by Francesca Leah Block. I used to read all of the Witsy Bat books and Francesca Leah Block, Sarah Dessen, YA books, young adult books was so the shit in the early 2000s. So Sarah Dessen books. Love Sarah Dessen. Really good writer. Y'all know we read all the Zane books, girl. We read all the Zane books. Fiona Zed is another one. Fiona Zed was a Black lesbian, and she did like a vampire novel about, Black lesbian vampires. And it was such a good book. The first one. I have read Octavia Butler. I read Kindred. Kindred was the first one I read. I have not gotten into any of the other parables, but I want to get into those. Yes, I have an unabridged version of White Oleander. So it is the shit. The book is so much better than the movie because the movie left out like at least 2 or 3 of the homes that she went in. And one of them was a Black lady that seemed to be like a prostitute. But either way, y'all, she was a neighbor. I don't think she was, she was just a neighbor. But yeah, good book. Yes, autobiographies are the shit. I really want to read Will's. I haven't had a chance to yet. There are a lot of autobiographies I haven't had a chance to really get into like that. But I have it, I have it in my Audible, child. If I'm going to do anything, girl, I'm going to download some shit on an Audible credit. I read Dixie Carter's book. That was a good book too. Yeah, y'all, I have Diane Carroll's book that I still have to read. And I love thrillers. So Every Move You Make was recent. Little Secrets, The Family Upstairs, Little Fires Everywhere. I read all of the Confessions novels. And I used to love me a good Fledging. I read Fledging 2 by Octavia Butler. Yeah. Hurricane Summer by Aisha Broomfield was a good one too. That was like the last book that I actually was like glued into from beginning to end. Was the Hurricane Summer. So that's another Black author book, Aisha Broomfield. That was a good book. I'm trying to think. Single Black Female. I feel like I y'all be reading them and then be forgetting what happened in some of them. Oh, My Sister the Serial Killer. That was good too. And that was like a shorter one. By Oyinka Braithwaite. I can't pronounce it, but y'all see My Sister the Serial Killer. That was good too. I read Jennifer Lewis' book when it first came out. That was really good too. Addicted to Toni Morrison books. Oh, I haven't read any Toni Morrison books in a while, but I have Sula on here, so I want to read it. I just haven't had a chance to get into it. But your girl, I read Bobby Brown's book. That was really good. I think I read Taraji's book. It's just been a long time, but I just have all of my books in here. Oh, Cinder. That used to be my shit. I used to love me an old remake of a fairy tale, but make it grungier book. Stephen King novels too. Okay. But yeah, y'all, just sharing some of the books that I like to read and, stuff I have read, stuff I am reading. I couldn't get into Will's book on Audible. I got bored. Sometimes it's better to read the actual text, I'm going to tell y'all. But when your eyes are bad like mine, it could be difficult. But either way, this has been fun. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Y'all, don't forget about tonight. Ooh Ladies First panel interview with Tammy Roman is on Jamie's channel, premiering at 6 p.m. And then right after our interview with Tammy, we will be live on Niecy Dixon's YouTube channel for the Ooh Ladies First panel tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. So make sure that you are there, okay? Make sure y'all check out that interview with Tammy. It was a really, really good one. She dropped some tea about Basketball Wives. We talked about OG. We talked about, we talked about a lot of things. But it was really good. I love Tammy. I love, everything she has going on. And I just, it's just like a real full circle moment for me. So anyway, y'all, I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Stay cool by the pool, fool. And I'll talk to y'all later.